Get a question for me?
I do. How do I know which parts of the Bible to take literally?
Yeah. The great thing about that question is that it is, at least presupposes that maybe there's language in the Scripture that you aren't supposed to take literally. I mean, we get criticized for that as Christians, don't we? I mean, oh, you believe the Bible? Well, yeah, you believe the Bible literally. Well, yes, you take the Bible literally? Well, yes, I do. Which means I take it like I would any other written source, any other literature. I mean, there are things in the Bible that clearly are like a simile, a figure of speech. The kingdom of heaven is like, right? I mean, there are things in Scripture that are metaphor. Jesus says that He's the bread of life. He's not saying literally, I am a big loaf of Wonder Bread. Right? I mean, he's making an illustration. He teaches in parables. There's the use of hyperbole in Scripture. Jesus said that, hey, if your eye offends you, pluck it out. Well, I don't know about you, but I think pretty much everyone in this room, I know for me that my eye at some time has offended me. And yet I still have two of them. I don't think Jesus was saying, literally go pluck out your eye. He was trying to get their attention like, guys, it's more important that you go to heaven with one arm and one eye than go to hell. He's trying to kind of blow their mind. Like I said, he taught in parables. Paul uses sarcasm in his writings. And so understanding that, I think, is really important. Understanding that the Scripture is written in human language. It's not a scientific textbook. It uses the language of that day, and it'll say things like, for example, that the sun set. Well, we know that the sun doesn't set. I hope we know that, right? The sun doesn't set. The earth rotates, and the sun's just kind of hanging out there, chilling in space. But, you could read that and say, well, I guess the Scripture is wrong because it's saying the sun sets. Well, then, the weatherman's wrong because he says the same thing. It's using the common language of the people. And so I think a good general rule, you've probably heard this before, that if the plain sense makes good sense, then look for no other sense. Right? I know for me, most of the time when I've had struggles with something in Scripture, it's not that I can't make sense of it. It's just that it's really hard to obey. I mean, God, are you really calling me to this? I mean, wow. I mean, that standard is crazy. Let me look at it figuratively. But we need to realize that if the plain sense makes good sense, that we should look for no other sense. And so